What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Knuckle Sandwich. We've got a very special live stream today. Torrez Finney. I can't say his nickname because we'll get to that later. But man, I got Torrez Finney on the stream today. He's got a big Contender Series fight coming up August 20th. What else do we got? We got the nicknames again, so we're not guessing the fighter themselves. We're giving them nicknames with my wife. And then we've got some hot topics, talking about some power slap. I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are on power slap, because I have my very own. Talking about Sean O'Malley, talking about titleless fighters and all those kind of things. So, yeah, it's going to be a really big day today. I do want to kind of recap a little bit of our weekend. This past Friday and Saturday, we were part of the media for PFL, which was freaking dope. We've got Alexi Pergande's interview up on our Instagram and YouTube right now, so if you want to go check that out, absolutely go do so. We're going to get more loaded up this week. It was super cool, man. I mean, you know, it was definitely the biggest thing so far for, I would say, our interviewing career as Knuckle Sandwich. They treated us super well, which I was actually really surprised because, you know, as a little YouTube channel, you know, you never expect to be treated like a professional. So it was really nice, really neat, and got to see a bunch of great fights. Shout out to Dedrick Sanders, friend of the podcast. Got the first round KO in his PFL debut. That was huge. Yep, Zach Hicks went out there. He had a good performance. Didn't come out on top, but I know he's going to rebound just like he's just tough, man. He's going to rebound. And then, of course, you know, you had Dakota Ditcheva, which is my wife's new second favorite fighter next to Dustin Poirier. But yeah, it was an awesome weekend, awesome time. We'll have more footage up this week, so be on the lookout for that with our interviews and such. What else? That's pretty much it. Yeah. All right, let's get on to guess the fighter. You ready? We're gonna bring my wife on in, and we'll get to it. All right. So again, this is the nicknames. We're giving nicknames.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Is this like a really old picture?
She could already see it, so we might as well throw it up. Let's get to the first one.
Oh. Okay.
Throwback.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, well, got a big old honker. Looks Italian. You're gonna hate this. All I can think of is fistful of fettuccine.
Fistful of fettuccine. Sean Strickland. Interesting. Okay. Let's go to the next one.
Oh gosh. I hate when you pick people I know because all I can think is them.
You know his nickname?
No.
Okay.
What's it say on his chest? Oh, this one's hard. Kind of looks like a SoundCloud rapper. So we're gonna go with It's Your Boy.
It's your boy, Izzy Adesanya.
Oh gosh. He's terrifying. Okay. I don't. Okay. I can't say what's coming to my mind. I'm gonna go with Mean Mugger.
Mean Mugger. All right, this last one I'm really excited for.
No.
Let's go to the last one.
Oh. No neck.
What would you give this guy a nickname?
I think like no neck or just.
All right, so that is Torrez Finney, our guest on the podcast today. No neck Torrez.
Oh man, that's funny. That was good.
She apologized. She said, "I'm so sorry." All right, good job. All right, let's bring Torrez on. No neck Torrez, what's up, bro? How are you?
Oh man, that was good. I would tell you what. That's probably one of the better ones. Look, when that picture went viral all on Twitter and Instagram, and seeing all the comments and seeing all the stuff, dude, that's a lot of it. What it was, no neck, like the SpongeBob arms, it was all types of things, man. It was actually pretty funny. Ninja Turtle, I saw it all.
So Torrez, obviously you're now. Oh, she just texted me. Let's see what she said. She said, "Ha ha ha! I'm crying" in all capital letters. All right, Torrez. Ladies and gentlemen, Torrez, the Punisher, not No Neck, the Punisher Finney. Torrez, bro, how have you been? It's been a little bit since we talked last. You've had a very viral fight go down since we talked last. So, how's life? How you doing? And we'll get to the other stuff later.
Life's been a blessing, man. It's been really exciting to been in training camp, obviously knowing what's on the horizon. August 20th, getting ready for a big fight on the Contender Series. But yeah, man, life's been going really good, man. Been training hard, been grinding. Got a lot of rounds in this camp, lots and lots of rounds, a lot of movement, pushing myself to the brink. I feel like this has been my best training camp so far. I know a lot of fighters say that consistently, but I'll be honest. I didn't think my last camp, even granted, viral knockout was the best necessary, probably because of a lot of things going on here and there. But I definitely said going into this next fight, I'm going to definitely turn it around. We're going to have a great training camp. And yes, best training camp all around, man. And I feel really good and I'm excited. I can't wait.
So we had just talked just before you had got on the camera, we went live, and you've had like this Torrez Finney world tour. You were in Orlando, then you were in Texas, and you were in Vegas. So I can't even imagine what this camp's been like for you, especially after your last fight. Lawton, I want to go ahead and throw that video up real quick and show the people what I'm referencing to. The knockout of the year, knockout heard around the world, 9.8 million views. I mean, dude, that's just so... I get at a loss of words for this thing because it's like, holy crap, the power that Torrez you possess is just insane, bro.
Yeah, man. Look, that's the thing. A lot of people have always. I know it's been the waning question. When is Finney going to utilize his striking? When is he going to showcase the power? When is he going to showcase his hands? And I've always said, I've always had that. You don't go through training camp just doing one thing. I've always had striking. I always did those things, but I just had to be. I felt like what I was doing, the game plan, always going in there, the easiest path to victory, the least path of resistance. And, my grappling is really, I really do believe is elite and A level. So I always going to utilize that and I'm still going to always rely on that. But I think a lot of people wanted to see more necessarily. And I didn't go into that fight trying to showcase or say, oh, this is what I'm trying to showcase for people. No. It was more of a thing that I had been working on through that training camp anyway. It was better in the game plan for me to go that route. And I always told people I'm always going to go least resistance. And I'm going to find ways to do that. Whatever the game plan that may be that my coaches came up with. And again, working with my coach, Matt Harris, Larry Scott, Sterling Police, and now eventual striking coach, Dwayne Ludwig, working with these guys and having these guys in my corner has helped me tremendously into being the fighter that I am today. And what you saw on May 4th was just a snippet. And I feel like I have a lot. I've been definitely evolving, continuing to get better as a fighter. And I can't wait to continue to showcase it.
And it's funny you say, like, we're talking about the game plan and like what you guys have watched, because I think there was also another like little video of pre-fight warming up or something like that. And I mean, you were warming up that exact punch, that exact overhand right to be able to land on the guy. So I'm assuming that's something that you guys saw in film before the fight going on.
Yes, I'm a big film watcher. Big film watcher. And me and my team, we watch a lot of film and we try to get every single tendency that any fighter does. And that's one of the things, we saw some things on film and we thought, man, that would definitely be able to be set up really well. And it was, as you saw in the fight, it was really set up really well. Just trying to execute the game plan. And that's the way I look at it. I'm so much from a football background and we talk about executing and executing the plays to the best that you can possibly be. And that's the way I approach fighting, executing the game plan, doing what we go over in training, doing what we go over in practice. If I know I can go out there and execute it, I know whatever happens to that guy, from watching film, I seen how he'll respond. I know what he would do. It's very rare that I've ever watched film on somebody and they go out there and do something completely different. 9 times out of 10, if they do it in a fight, I've already seen it and I'm already prepared for it. So that's the beauty of watching film and staying, 100% keyed in on your opponent and being locked in.
So, Torrez, what I love about you, dude, is you're so confident in what you do and your abilities and your capabilities and everything. And so I've got to know in the headspace for you, right right after that happened, you walked up to the camera. The first thing you said was like, Dana, you already got my number. You know what to do. Like, was that the first thing that came through your head? Is like, all right, UFC, here we come, or how soon after did you get the call to be back on the Contender Series?
Well, actually, the funny thing is, I actually signed a Contender Series contract 4 weeks before that fight. So I know that was the crazy thing about it. So a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, my team and my management, we were in talks. All right, is it smart to continue to fight this fight? Obviously, you got a lot of different things that can go on. You can lose, you can get hurt, or you can have a bad performance, even though you win, split decision, not the performance you wanted. There was a lot of chances that could have went into it that could have negated me from being right back on Contender again. But I told myself, I said, for one, I really do believe in the fighter that I am. And two, I don't want the first time for me to be back on Contender Series. A little bit similar to like my opponent coming up. It's like them layoffs. I fought in October. Again, I had a little bit of a training camp preparing for I thought to be the Ultimate Fighter, but obviously he gets selected. And then getting ready for May 4th, I was like, I needed a fight. I don't want to take these long layoffs. I want to be going every 3 to 4 months. I want to be getting ready to get in that cage because I'm from the wrestling and football background. Like, as I just said, like football, you playing every week. Wrestling, you wrestle 2 to 3 times every week throughout the season. I'm accustomed to that. Where in fighting, you fight maybe 2, 3 times a year. I don't like that. I like to be a lot more active. I like to see myself in the live situations more times than not. So I wanted to see the skill sets of things I've been working on. I want to see myself do that actually in the cage. So it was great for me to go out there and get the fight. Yes, it was a risk, but I think it was a calculated risk, and I think we took advantage of it.
100%, because now, like I said earlier, I mean, you're viral. 9.8 million views just on one video, right? Just on one, not all of them. So has life changed for you? Anything after that? I mean, you get hit up all the time now, Instagram blowing up, whatever. I mean, what's it like being the most viral fighter in America? That's what I'm going to call you.
Well, I will say it has been really interesting. I'm not the biggest social media guy, but I now have a lot of people that help me out with social media. My agent helps me, my friends help me, so they give me some tips to do things here and there. But that's the thing. Yeah, I get hit up a lot of things in my messages and requests, and on Facebook and Messenger, and people saying they're fans of me. I've had to sign fan stuff and send it to them, and I think a lot of people also remember me from last year on the Contender Series, so that definitely helped. And I don't look at it in that type of fashion, of like, oh, I'm not in the eye, everybody eyes and things of that nature. I still try to stay attentive to what I already do. Things don't change up for me. You got to stay focused on the game the game plan ahead on what's the real thing, regardless of anything that goes on. I still got to go in that cage and fight. So that's my main focus. I don't usually put things aside to try to do all this other stuff for social media. So, but it has been interesting. It's fun. It's funny, viral on a knockout, viral on a picture. So it is what it is. But it's fun.
So social media aside, right? You just said you got to stay focused on the game plan, stay focused on the task at hand. Well, let's talk about the next task at hand, right? The Dana White Contender Series, August 20th. You're coming in fighting a guy, Cam Rouston. I think I said his name right. 8-2 out of Australia, riding a 5-fight win streak. I mean, I feel like you guys are paired up really well in this fight. The only thing for him, and you had said this earlier, he's coming off a long layoff, 2 years. So what can you gather from somebody like that? You said you're a film watcher, like 2 years of layoff on film. What have you guys gathered on this guy, and what are some advantages you see coming into this fight?
Well, for one, yeah, Cam's a tall, long-range striker, and he moved to CKB in 2019. So you definitely see like the growth of his game. That when he left training grounds in Australia and moved to CKB, you definitely see the growth in his game. He looks, he definitely looks a lot better. He looks good. I definitely see a lot of tendencies from their entire gym that he does. Some of the stuff he does similar to like Israel Adesanya, who obviously he trains with. So he does a lot of good things. He's a solid BJJ. And yeah, the 2 year layoff, he did the King of the Ring last year, you know, the 3 fights in one night that they do over there in New Zealand for Muay Thai. So at least he has fought, you know, the general ringship of being hit, you know, being in that live situation. So he did that last year. But yeah, he hadn't fought MMA since 2022 of September. I just think there's a lot of different things that me personally, just me focusing on me. It's hard for people to, I feel like, game plan for me because you have to have that is not necessarily that exact body type, but I think I have a lot of different qualities that it's hard for you to get all in one from one person. And I think that's just the beauty of, you know, how God created me and my work ethic. You know, it's just a different feel. And I don't think he'll be 100% prepared and ready for it. I know he has a really great team behind him that'll definitely do the best of their abilities to prepare him, but I don't think he'll be 100% ready. And I'm really confident in my skill set, and I'm really confident in the growth that I have been adding to my game. And I just feel like I'm going to go in there and 100% have my hand raised.
So you're not a newcomer to the Contender Series, right? You had that fight last year. Do you feel like having the experience on that stage is going to be an upper hand for you as well? Because sometimes, I mean, the nerves can get to some people, and you've been at that Contender Series spotlight before. So do you think that experience is going to help you out moving into that fight?
Yes, 100% I do. I've already, you know, been on that Contender Series before. You definitely had an opportunity to go through that entire fight week, go through how they do things, go through the backstage, go through the walk, go through the silence. You know, it's different. It's different. But as much as I told people, and I knew it was going to be like this, and it just like really just helped me 100% it, like make it for sure. It reminded me a lot like wrestling. You walk on the mat, you see the other guy, stand at the table, say your name, give you red or blue. You run on the mat, put your thing on, you shake hands, you wrestle. All right, you going live. There's nothing else. There's no announcements. All right, that's how I remember the Contender Series to be, and that's how I feel. It's the same. It's like you walk in, there ain't no announcements. Hey, tap up, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. You walk in, put the grease on your thing, on your forehead, in the cage and fight. There's no extra stuff in between it. So sometimes people need that little time in between to get themselves ready, to get themselves all right. We're about to settle down. It's that go. It's that go. There's no waiting. It's just go, and that's why I'm really excited because. I mean, that's the type of fighter I am. I'm a guy that's like to start off and I keep the pressure on you the entire fight, whether it's 15 minutes or whether it's 1 minute. I'm going to be on you the entire time. So I'm excited. I can't wait. We're about 16 days away, man. Nearly 2 weeks. So a brother's ready to go. A brother's ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready for you to go, bro. Do you have a prediction for this fight? Are you going to be a prediction guy for this one? Or are you just going to stay silent?
No, I always say I never make prediction for fights. I never will. And do this. I will say this: at the end of that night, I guarantee you, my hand will be raised. And this time, we won't leave no stones unturned. I will have that UFC contract.
I'm excited and still undefeated. I'm looking forward to hearing that August 20th, man. Lawton, you ready to get into some hot topics?
Yes, sir. Let's go, baby.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, Torrez, we kind of gave you the little rundown beforehand. So we're going to kind of go through 5 topics. You each get 1 minute each per topic to kind of give your just clear and concise thoughts. I'll have a timer on the screen. I'll give you kind of like a little 10-second warning, I guess you could say. But the first topic we're going to talk about is Power Slap. If you don't know what that is, it is... I don't even know. What would you call that, Brandon? It's a fight promotion.
Gruesome,
right?
It's well, yeah. I mean, like,
yeah,
it's a voluntary manslaughter, is what it is. It seems like.
So, all right. So we got a clip we're gonna show really quick on the stream. Let me pull that up. There's no. Yeah, just watch. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just not a fan of that at all. So, anyways, all right. So to our topic of Power Slap, Dana has said over and over that Power Slap's numbers will surpass the UFC. What are your thoughts on the sport and the damage the fighters take? So that's kind of what we're doing. We'll start with you, Brandon, just to kind of set the tone. So
Bring it.
You got 1 minute. We just heard what Dana said. So what are your thoughts on the sport, Power Slap, and the damage that these fighters take? You got 1 minute starting now.
So, I mean, the number standpoint, it's whatever. Like, if it's going to surpass it, it's going to surpass it. That's cool. But the damage these fighters take. So, I mean, I can't name how many times I've seen clips or videos or whatever. I've never watched an event because it's just too much. It's too much. I can't do it. But I will never understand, number one, from the fighter perspective, why you would stand there and let a dude smack you, like, and you're volunteering yourself to do it. And you can't hit back until you're told you can. It's crazy. Number two, the damage that these guys take, I mean, it's sometimes worse, most of the time worse than some of these MMA fights, dude. Like the face swelling, you just saw the clip. The dude was bleeding from getting smacked on his cheek repetitively. It makes no sense. I don't understand how it's like, I just don't know. I don't understand how it's even around. I don't get it. I hope that the fighters, like, come to their senses soon. But yeah, power slap makes no sense to me.
All right. Right on the dot. All right, Torrez, you ready for your minute?
Yes, sir.
All right. Give us your thoughts on power slap and the sport and the damage the fighters take. You got 1 minute starting now.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of power slap. You would ask anybody, ask most fighters, would you rather do a power slap or would you rather fight? And most guys would rather fight an MMA fight. Heck, they would rather box than do power slap. And it's just because of like the injuries. Like I really do think power slap you'll get CTE, obviously, because you just don't get hit. And if you can get back to your feet and control yourself and be like, oh, okay, I'm ready to do it again, then the match continues. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. Dana's huge on it. I mean, he thinks he's going to surpass numbers. I mean, he's a businessman, so he definitely saw there was some value into doing this. But me personally, I'm not into it. So everybody has their things that they like and don't like, and I don't like every single thing that's in the combat sports world, and power slap is definitely one of them. So. But props to the guys that are able to go out there and do it. Hey, y'all some tough son of a guns, but that's not for me.
I don't think
CTE is a good. The CTE comment is pretty smart. Like I would be curious to see whenever they do studies on this, like years down the road, how fast like power slap athletes got CTE versus football players, because they've done so much study on football, right? And it's like I'm curious to see how that would would go with each other.
Yeah. No, thanks. I'm good on that one. I'm not going to get in the cage. I'm definitely not going to get power slapped. So. All right, gentlemen, we are moving to our second topic. We got the headline title lists. So there have been numerous great UFC legends in the sport, but not all of them win gold. So who do you think the best fighter to never win a championship is? So that's kind of the question. Torrez, you want to start this one off for us?
Yes, I'll do it. Yes.
All right, man. You got 1 minute. Who do you think the best fighter to never win a championship is? And your minute starts now.
All right, so this is a really hard question. There's a lot of people you can go through. Obviously, I know a lot of people seen recently was Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is phenomenal. I definitely think he should definitely have win one gold. But I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to go Yoel Romero. Reason I'm going to say Yoel was a different type of species and talent. Yoel started late, but he was phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. And not only that, yes, I know he fought Robert Whittaker twice and lost twice, but he did beat Weidman. I forgot he did beat somebody. I think Luke Rocco for an interim or something, and didn't make weight. Like both times he was going for a title, he missed weight by like half a pound. So it's like, he shot his own self in the foot. He's had opportunities. I wish he would have fought smarter against Izzy, but Yoel, when he was on the go, I mean, there was really nobody stopping that guy. And I mean, he was just a specimen amongst the guys in the middleweight. So yeah, I'm going to go Yoel Romero.
Very nice. 1 minute on the dot. I like it. All right, Brandon. Same question. Who do you think the best fighter to never win a championship is? And your 1 minute starts right now.
I didn't even think about Yoel Romero. I really went the legends route on this thing, the retired fighters. So, like, in my head, it was like Dan Henderson, Uriah Faber, because he didn't have UFC. He had WEC, but didn't have UFC. Even the Diaz brothers, like those kind of guys were all in my head. And I'm like, man, who do I pick? But then I think about some of the best UFC title fights, 2 of them to be exact, had Alexander Gustafsson in them. And that's where my head goes, because the dude was he was a killer. His nickname was the Mauler. And I think that he was one of those guys that if John Jones wasn't around, he would have been champion for a while. Truly believe that. Another guy that comes to my head, though, is also like Kenny Florian. And I mentioned Uriah Faber, too. But, man, I mean, Alexander Gustafsson, I truly believe, like, if he didn't come up in the John Jones era, he would have been the champ for, years reigning.
Nice. All right, gentlemen. Both 1 minute on the dot. Very nice. We're going to move to our next topic, which is the headline, Shots Fired. Now, we've got a little Instagram photo to show really quick. So, Sean O'Malley is saying that he can beat Conor McGregor. That is the quote, and I just switched to the wrong thing really quick. So, Sean O'Malley made the statement. So, the question is, each got a minute to talk about, is how true do you think that statement is? Can Sean O'Malley beat freaking Conor McGregor? So, all right, Brandon, we're going to pass it to you to start this one off. So you got 1 minute. Do you think Sean O'Malley can beat Conor? Give us your thoughts. 1 minute starts now.
So the thing to think about here for me is, like, are we talking about present Conor McGregor? Or are we talking about prime Conor McGregor, right? Because if we're talking prime, I don't know. That's tough. If we're talking present, though, more than likely 100%, right? Like, I think that Sean O'Malley is so much better than anybody gives him props, especially myself. I was a O'Malley hater. I bought into all the social media stuff and the gimmick with the hair and all this kind of things. And I overlooked him as a fighter. The dude is tough. And I think he's probably one of the best strikers in the UFC. So I think that if he was, 30 pounds heavier and him and Conor fought, I think he could take him. If we're talking like, 145 Conor versus a 145 Sean O'Malley, I don't know. That's tough, man. That's a super close one. I would love to see it, but I think that we're too far along in that. But yeah, I think if it's present day, sure. If it's prime, no, not really.
Nice. All right. Torrez, same question. Sean said he could beat McGregor. How true do you think that statement is? Give us your thoughts. You got 1 minute starting now.
I don't think present or past. The thing is, it's like O'Malley, look, he's a great fighter, talented, technical. Maybe it's me. I'm not fully sold on the O'Malley train all the way. He's tough. Don't get me wrong. He's tough. He's the champ. But everything's under certain circumstances. I think when he fought Aljo, it was just under a weird circumstance. Aljo just defended his title in a 5-round fight after getting out of a fight camp against Harry Cejudo. So then he has to turn around and jump right back in a fight camp 8 more weeks later and fight his title again. Nah, I don't even think he beats Marab. But O'Malley I didn't even think he beat Jan. But he's not beating a prime Conor McGregor for sure. And right now, Conor McGregor is big, man. Like, if there was a way they can meet in the middle at 155, he might can give McGregor some problems here and there, but McGregor the power advantage. I've just seen O'Malley get dropped by Jan, so I don't think Jan has the same power as McGregor. So give me McGregor. Nice.
All right, gentlemen. Another topic down. We are going to move to our next headline of UFC 305. So Dricus du Plessis is defending his belt against Izzy in Australia. So we're going to talk some predictions. So we're just going to see, what do you think is your prediction for this fight? And we'll let you, Brandon, start this one off. So, all right, Dricus versus Izzy in Australia, UFC 305. What's your prediction for this fight? How do you think it's going to go down? You got 1 minute starting now.
You can't see my posters, but I have an Israel Adesanya versus Anderson Silva poster over here. I think that was like the passing of the torch because I'm a huge Anderson Silva fan. Just made it to where I'm a big Israel Adesanya fan. This fight is tough for me to pick, though, to be honest. Dricus du Plessis is one of these guys that he is so he's underrated. Truly, I do believe that. But his game is very versatile. He's a good wrestler. He's a good striker. But he's so large. Like, if you put him and Torrez against each other, I mean, that's a more even fight, right? And size-wise. So I think the size advantage could be different. I'm curious to see what kind of Israel Adesanya we're going to see, though. Because if we see the same Izzy that fought Paulo Costa, Robert Whittaker, and those guys, man, that's going to be a great fight. If we see the same Izzy that fought Sean Strickland and even Romero, that was a boring fight. I don't know what we're going to get. My heart says Israel Adesanya, but my fighter brain says I got to go with DDP, so I'm torn.
Nice. All right. Torrez, same question. UFC 305, Dricus versus Izzy. What is your prediction for this fight? How do you think it's going to go down? Your 1 minute starts right now.
Yes, in this fight, I'm picking Dricus. The reason why I'm picking Dricus is, for one, very similar to what Brandon was talking about, the size advantage. Yes, I know people have seen a lot of what Israel Adesanya pin on muscle, but I'm a guy that's been working out for a very long time. Definitely dove in a lot in weightlifting and how to perform and things of that nature. Pinning on that muscle, even in the time of like 4 or 5 months, even 6 months, you still have to get accustomed to utilizing that in high intense situations. Yes, I know he's trained. I know he got the best trainers of the trainers, but to put him in a 5-round fight, which I'm sure he's done in sparring, but it's not the same as an actual fight after the weight cut, after going through the whole process. He has to go against Dricus, who's been doing this his entire career. Yes, Dricus has the grappling advantage. Yes, I think Dricus also has the power advantage. Yes, Izzy's going to be still Izzy, but I think the thing with Izzy, he's not the same Izzy as back then. You know, there's a lot of things that are different. He's older now. Not necessarily saying he's older out of his prime, but I think he's on the back end of his prime. And I just think Dricus is going to have a little bit more of an advantage in this one. Going to be a good fight.
Very nice. Very nice, gentlemen. All right, that tackles that topic. Brandon, rapid fire is next. You want me to pass it to you?
Love it.
All right, you're handling this this next section.
I just want to throw this out there. I love the way that Torrez is breaking down these fights and stuff, man. He's like, man, you know, this, that. A real analyst, if I should say.
Hey, look, that's what I went to college for. When I tell people, man, I just don't break down these, like, when I do it, obviously, for my podcast or when I do football games and stuff, like, I just don't do it just to do it. Like, I watch film, like, I watch the games, I detail, because obviously I play football, and obviously with fighting, I fight. So I detail a lot of this stuff. So that's the reason why I feel like it helps me an advantage when I'm getting ready for my fights. It's like I write all this stuff down, man. I was a big film watcher when I was in football, so this is nothing new, different from me.
Fair enough. So, Torrez, rapid fire. I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 names here off to the side that I'm going to throw out here, and I just want the first thing that comes to your brain. It could be one word. It could be a sentence. It could be a paragraph if you need to, but it is called rapid fire, so I want to keep it quick. Sound good?
Yes, sir. Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it, bro. Okay, so we're going to start off with the champ of the 185 division. DDP, Dricus du Plessis. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
You actually said it. Underrated.
Underrated. Israel Adesanya.
Legend.
Alex Pereira.
Oh, man. Can I have 2 words? Trending GOAT.
Trending GOAT. All right. John Jones.
The GOAT.
Aljamain Sterling.
Man. Oh man, I would say, man, this is hard. And I know it's supposed to be rapid fire. I gotta. I'm gonna say Crafty. He's crafty on the ground. Crafty.
These are 2 together. The Diaz brothers, Nate and Nick.
OGs. OGs of the fight game.
Finally, Tom Aspinall.
Oh my gosh. The future, if not already here now. I mean, my goodness. Best heavy dude. Look, I love John Jones. I know it's supposed to be one word. I love John Jones. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. But John Jones, again, on the older end, back in of the prime, look, we all have our day, and then sometimes our days have to go away. John Jones on the back end of his prime. Tom Aspinall, the movement and the explosiveness, his speed, his power, his grappling. I'll tell you this. If there's a way, if that fight happens, and John Jones is able to win, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like Aspinall beats him. Like, especially in the state John Jones is right now, I just don't see John Jones beating him. Even as much as he's the GOAT, even if Aspinall beats him, John Jones is still the GOAT, because this is on the back end. It's very similar to like ranking Israel over Anderson Silva, in my opinion. I think Anderson's still over Izzy right now, because it's just on the back. You beat him on the back end. You didn't beat him in his prime. But if John Jones is able to pull this one out, I'm just gonna say it's going to be nearly impossible. It's one of those things where it's like, you see in hockey, nobody's ever going to catch Wayne Gretzky, almost. It's like, Some people enjoyed it. Like some people, like Tom Brady. Like I know we got Mahomes right here. I just don't see nobody catching Tom Brady. Like if John Jones beat Aspinall, I just see nobody catching him. I don't care what you do. It's literally like I don't care what you do. It's like how do you? He's beating literally like the top guy. I know people want to see him fight Francis, but I'd rather see him fight Aspinall right now than Francis.
Yes.
So, like, because Aspinall actually has ground game. Like, he has top tier ground game. I know Francis with his power and everything else, but Aspinall has top tier ground game and crazy power. Like, he knocked out Sergio Popovich in the first round. Like, dude, if John Jones was able to beat him, there's no more discussion. Yeah, how Dana been raving on about him. Like, I mean, he is the GOAT, but he stay pound for pound. Wait 10 years after he retired. There's no argument there for me because he beats Aspinall when I just don't see how he does it. Congratulations! I mean, John Jones is incredible.
It almost sounds like, Lawton, correct me if I'm wrong, that Torrez has been watching the live stream since we've been doing it, because it seems like every week I say the same thing. Mm-hmm. Aspinall beats John Jones anytime they fight now. My big thing, I agree with you, Torrez. I think that Tom Aspinall is too good. Obviously, with it being the back end, yada yada, whatever. I'm not ever gonna give John Jones an excuse. I don't know if you know this. I'm the biggest John Jones hater in the world that there is. I always will be. I always am. But I'm hoping that fight that it takes place. I doubt it will. I really see John probably retiring after this Stipe fight, solidifying it, because I think he sees too much there's too much risk in the fight with Tom, right? And if for him, he's like, oh, well, I've already solidified everything. I'm good if he beats Stipe. I don't think he risks it and goes against Tom. I hope he does. I really do. Because that would be huge for Tom Aspinall's career, right? If he can go out there and beat him and then reign as the heavyweight champ for years and years to come. But I hope they get the fight. I doubt they will. But yeah, if John ever pulled that out and beat Tom, there's no ever question again. You can't ever say Khabib. You can't ever say GSP. You can't ever say anybody else. It has to be John.
Hey, you cannot ever make it. That's the thing. If he finds a way to beat. But again, I agree with you. I don't even think they fight, to be honest with you, because I think he fights. If anything, it's crazy as it sounds. It might sound crazy, but if anything, he would fight Stipe. And then he'll probably try to switch it up and try to fight Alex Pereira. Because in all honesty, that's a big fight to the fans' eyes, to the casual eye. But
it's for Alex to go for a third belt, right? It's like, oh, nobody's ever done that, whatever. So then there's I feel like there's greater story there, like storyline, selling, whatever. But you can't argue that Tom's not the best heavyweight active right now besides John Jones, So it's I think that's a bigger storyline in my opinion, but who knows? Torrez, I'm gonna give you a minute, give your shout outs, give your thank yous and all that stuff before your big fight on the 20th.
Well, first I want to always thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the ability and allowing me to be able to do this, man. He's blessed me my entire life, and I'm so thankful. And I also want to thank Agogi for everything they've done for me. Agogi has been awesome to me, man. I really love all the people here that has helped get me to that next level and push me to be the best fighter I can possibly be. I want to thank my coaches, Matt, Larry, Sterling. I love those guys, man. I really love those guys a lot. They've put so much time and effort into me. Thanking all the guys that put a much effort into me as them is Peak Kinetic Performance. PKP has been awesome. John and Gannon Hampton. They've trained with me along with my strength and conditioning. So, they just not only they do my strength and conditioning and get me in the best shape possible, but they also come in the cage and do rounds with me and do jiu-jitsu and do sparring with me. So I'm thankful for having guys like that in my corner. Thankful for the people that allow me to be able to do this full time. Guys like Robert White and Johnny Jones and a lot of the people that are really putting their efforts into me. So I'm blessed and I'm thankful, man, and I'm excited for the opportunity, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, catch Torrez Finney live August 20th on the Dana White Contender Series. Again, the second time on the show, getting the contract this time, 100% without a doubt. If you haven't watched that, viral knockout, go over to his page, Punisher Torrez on Instagram. You can see it there pinned at the top. But Torrez, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. Wish you nothing but the best of luck in the next 16 days.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. I'm excited. Let's go.